never thought anything could happen from today, but something did. I am a huge Mario fan. I bought all the games, I bought all the merchandise. Fuck, I even bought the stupid Mario Brothers movie. But earlier today I experienced something that I knew I had to share with everyone. You see, I like to buy bootlegged versions of Mario games, as I had recently subscribed to Cinemassacre, and they'd made a video recently about some sort of bootleg Super Mario version for the NES. It looked really cool, and I decided I could try and find one. So I went around store to store looking for a bootleg version of Super Mario Brothers for the SNES. Or should I say Super Mario World, as that is one of my favorite Mario games. As I went store to store, I eventually came across a store that looked way too old to be open. But the store sign said open, so I walked inside. I was greeted by an old man at the front counter selling bootlegged versions of video games. And I'm not just talking old video games, I'm talking new video games, such as a Call of Duty bootleg version. This was his store, he said, and said that he knew how to make bootlegged versions. And I had asked him if he'd had any Mario bootleg versions. And he had said yes, and he directed me to the back of the counter, and he had shown me millions. I'm exaggerating on that number, obviously, but I mean, you just had to be there. There weren't millions, but it felt like there were. There were so many of them. And I had asked him if you had one of Super Mario World, as I did not see one, despite all the games. And he had looked at me like I was some sort of freak and said, I do, but I don't know if you want that one. And I told him how come. And he had said that he had programmed it to be played for his younger niece. However, he got the game back the next week. The niece had died from cancer, and the parents blamed him. I told him I'm sorry for your loss, and he said it's fine, and I'd be willing to give you the game on one condition. I asked him, okay, what is it? Don't play the game. I will give it to you, but I will only give it to you to show off. Do not play it. And I had said, why not just keep it yourself? He told me because it is a burden on me. I had started to question myself if I should take the game, but I obliged. I took the game, and I did not even decide to play it. Normally, before deciding to share the story on the internet, I did research and found out that people have had similar games to bootlegged versions of video games, and I discovered that they usually decide to play the game. And that's not the case here. I never played it. I never experienced some sort of Satan religion with Mario killing his beloved Princess Peach, not killing his brother. I didn't experience anything like that. I never played it. I only used it to show off. I listened to what he said. However, earlier today, I woke up around 5 a.m. I heard a knock at my window. I was weirded out and concerned that someone could be trying to break in. So I looked around the room and found a pair of scissors laying on the counter. I picked them up and I'd opened the window. I didn't see anything, so I didn't think much of it. I maybe thought it was a branch or some sort of animal. But I was wrong. I went over to the bedroom door and locked it. I didn't feel comfortable going back to sleep, so I called my parents. They were a little concerned at why or as you would say, annoyed at why I'd called him around 5 a.m., but I told him that I didn't feel comfortable, and they told me if he didn't feel comfortable, why don't you come here? Now, it's been a while since I talked to my parents, and I had no one else to call, so I called them. I told them I didn't want to come, and they told me that they wanted to talk. About a few nights ago, I had an argument with them. They told me they wanted to talk with me, sort things out. I thought, okay, I can get out of the house and forget what I just experienced. So I obliged. I told them I'd be over there in 30 minutes. I got my stuff and I locked the door. As I was walking out of the house, I swear to God, I thought I heard the Mario theme song. It sent shivers down my spine. I turned behind me, but no one was there. I thought maybe I was just thinking too much of this supposedly cursed cartridge, even though I had never played it. I decided I would go to my parents, have the talk, come back, and I'd give the cartridge back to the owner. The talk went normal. We sorted things out, and everything turned out okay in the end. But when I got back, my front door was wide open, and the cartridge was right on my doormat. I picked it up, and I felt something rough on the back of it. I flipped it over and I saw the label that said Super Mario Adventures. I never heard of this sort of Mario game, and I didn't even notice this at first. I shit you not, when I bought the game, there was no label, nothing on the front and nothing on the back. So I thought maybe someone broke in and did this. I thought maybe it was one of my friends, but I remembered all my friends were out of town for the holidays. I was shitting myself in fear, and I decided to throw away the game. I went to the woods and I buried it. I told the owner what happened, and he told me that he gave it to his niece for her birthday. That when she played it, she started feeling ill. She had to be rushed to the hospital, and she died of cancer a week later. But when she was dying, her final words were, "I see him. I see him." I never went back to the owner's shop, and I never played a Mario game ever again. But what haunts me still to this day is the fact that I still hear the Mario theme song behind me.